The video game controller is the most important aspect of gaming. How you play, how comfortable and natural it is, the features and the ability to open up more ways to play for everybody, all of this comes back to the controller. In history, we've had tons of amazing controllers that have stood the test of time, and new amazing controllers that will stand the test of time. The GameCube, Xbox 360, PS2, PS4, Switch Pro, Xbox Elite, DualSense, minus the battery, all come to mind immediately when thinking of amazing controllers throughout history. But while there is quite the list of amazing controllers, there's also a list of just what the fuck am I looking at? Today's video, I'll be going over 10 weird controllers that I've discovered recently that I would like to share with the class today. Now, this isn't like the definite list of weird controllers. There's plenty that I've probably missed or just didn't discover. And there's also a lot of notable ones that are not gonna be part of this list, like the N64, Virtual Boy, the Xbox Duke, or the weird early PS3 controller that kind of looks like a boomerang. I'm really not sure what else to call it. This list will include just some like unreal designs to me and just some strange collabs that for me personally, it just stands above the rest in the terms of weird controllers. There's at least a couple entries on the list though that will feature more than one controller. It's fine, go with it, it's all the same thing. Before we jump into the list, if you could drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend. We also just recently launched a Patreon. I got the link down in the description below. If you could, please check that out and consider donating to the channel and just supporting the brand, and we would be immensely grateful for that. We also have our video game podcast, Gamesthetic, that goes live almost every Saturday around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about stuff like this and upcoming news and games that we're playing and everything of the sort. We also have our new channel, A Terrible Sports Network, where we have A Terrible Football Show and the brand new show, A Terrible Wrestling Show. I promise not everything's going to be called A Terrible Insert Show. It's just how it panned out for the moment. Deal with it. We just launched episode 1 of ATWS, and we'd really appreciate if you check that out, where we go over SummerSlam 2024, which is also why Gamesthetic doesn't have a show this weekend. But hey, that's all right. We'll be back next week. It'll be fun. Enough of the sellout. Let's jump into the list. Number 1, Intel Wireless Series Gamepad. So you can buy this thing today, so that's neat. It's like 30 bucks on Amazon, and it basically looks like a neck pillow. I really don't know what else to call it. That's what it looks like to me. For that price point, I kind of want to get it and like try it, but does it work for anything? Like I saw like in the description on Amazon, like you can apparently connect 4 players at once, which, okay, that's interesting. I still want to know what it does. Like what do we use this thing for? It's definitely a weird one, the neck pillow is. I also saw on Reddit that someone said that it looks like a certain type of massager. You catch my drift. So shout out to that, I guess. Number 2, SpaceOrb 360. This is basically a trackball as a game controller. Unironically, my guy Zach over at Gamesthetic would probably be about this because he plays every game on his computer with a trackball, which is insane behavior to me. So he might actually like this. This is weird, but in a way of where it's like, honestly, it's kind of sick looking. I don't know what about. I don't know what it is about it, but it just looks kind of cool to me. I don't know. I'm kind of about it. This one's actually pretty cool. Number 3, just Dreamcast in general. Just a few minutes ago when I shout out, like I won't be naming the obvious ones, I didn't drop Dreamcast because I knew it was going to make the list. While the base controller itself is weird, sure. I mean, it's very interesting design, not very comfortable to hold, but the fact that it has like a screen that you can take out is just really interesting. But honestly, like Dreamcast had to make the list to me because like they have just so much interesting stuff, dude. Dreamcast was such an interesting and weird era, man. I mean, like they had some really cool stuff and was insanely creative as a whole, not just their controllers, but just talking about controllers, obviously the base controller is just, it's something. But beyond that, they had a keyboard, which that's interesting. Shout out to Zach. He found it at a local store for us and bought it. I actually found another one recently at one of our local stores, and I'm thinking about buying it. They had a fishing rod, so that's cool. But the most interesting one to me, and the reason why it's making the list, is they had maracas. Like this walked so Donkey Konga and Donkey Kong Jungle Beat could run. All right, I'm saying it as it is. The fact that we had maracas as a controller on the Dreamcast is insane. Like this, I want this. Number 4, ASCII GameCube keyboard controller. Speaking of keyboards, we have this beauty. So I am a massive GameCube fan. It is my favorite console of all time. I have a massive GameCube collection that I have spent so much time and money building over the years. But this controller I want so bad as like my holy grail of my collection. So this was made, as far as I know, just to work with Phantasy Star Online Episode 1 and 2. Great game, by the way. Which is the only online game for GameCube, which is insanely wild to think about. But it's literally just a keyboard with GameCube controllers slapped on it. It's almost kind of the same concept as like the PlayStation Portal is literally a tablet with the DualSense cut in half and attached to it. It's the same concept, but like this is just such an interesting design. Like, at least with the Dreamcast keyboard, it was literally just a keyboard with a Dreamcast sticker and a Dreamcast controller plug-in. This is a GameCube controller cut in half with a keyboard. Like, this is insane. I want this so bad. Number 5, the Slime. This is one of the more recent releases here, and it's the first collab I've got here on the list. A controller designed after a slime from Dragon Quest made by Hori. Like, this is such a cool collector's piece, even if you're not a Dragon Quest fan or not. I've actually never played a Dragon Quest game, but I want this controller so bad. Please don't burn me for saying I never played a Dragon Quest game. I'm gonna play one eventually. But like, this honestly just looks like a really cool controller. Like, honestly, I don't know, but I think it actually looks like it kind of be kind of comfortable to hold. I don't know. If someone's got it, please let me know. Like, this is a piece that I would really love to have as part of my collection. Number 6, Resident Evil Chainsaw. I forgot this was a thing until I started working on this list. This is obviously just meant to be like a display piece, whatever. And I'm sure people who've got it have probably obviously played with it. But I am so insanely curious, like, how it feels to play any game. Like, I don't mean like just Resident Evil, like just play anything on this. Like, imagine playing like a fast-paced like FPS on this thing, right? Like, how would that, like, play COD on this? Like, how would that feel? Oh, dude, imagine playing Gears with this. Now, that's very fitting. I'm down for that. But this is such an insane design. Out of the collab controllers that I've got on here, this is like the strangest like structure of a controller, like the overall structure, without a doubt. Like, the design for it, this is insane. Obviously meant for just a display piece, whatever, but there's a lot going on here. Number 7, Xbox collabs. Speaking of collabs, let's address Xbox. Xbox has been on such an insane controller collab kick this generation, but they're never for sale, which is really irritating. They're always just giveaways. Like, if they put any of these up for sale, I promise you they would make so much fucking money. Like, it blows me away that it's just giveaways. Like, put it up for like a limited run thing or something. I know scalpers would be a massive issue, but at least we as fans would have the opportunity to maybe find this out in the wild. It'd be very expensive, but at least like, there'd be that slight chance. Like, I don't know. Like, this is gonna be a giveaway and no one's gonna give it away. But like, let's go through some of the collabs that we've got going on here. Starting off with the most recent one, which is the Deadpool Wolverine cheat controllers. Special shout out for me being lazy, because I actually planned to do this video like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and the original list still had Xbox collabs on there. I would have been so pissed if I made that video, had a section for Xbox collabs, and then like a week later that announcement happens and it's not part of the list. I would have been so mad. So shout out to me being lazy. Laziness paid off today, folks. But beyond that, we had the Canadian Tuxedo, which is a controller literally just covered in denim. Like, okay. We had the furry Sonic controllers for the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie, which they basically skinned a Furby for, essentially. And then we had the TMNT pizza scented controllers, which I'm sure probably actually smelled like pizza, because I know, like, my fiance, she got a Hello Kitty Loungefly that was supposed to smell like waffles, and it does actually smell like waffles. So this probably does actually smell like pizza, which is disturbing, but kind of cool. But anyway, Xbox has just been on one this generation. Chaotic evil to the max. Number 8, Steel Battalion controller. Okay, this is a sick way to do a collab controller. I'm about this. It looks weird, sure, it's strange, it's weird, whatever, but it's also insanely cool. I love collab controllers where it like adds to the experience. It adds to, like, it's a weird collab, it's a weird controller, but it's meant to be, and it's meant to add to the game. And that's basically what this is. This was for the original Xbox with Steel Battalion. It gives you the feel that you're actually piloting it and like you're in the game. And I love stuff like this. Like, it adds to the game. Definitely weird at first glance, but it's sick in a weird way. Number 9, the Dream Machine. Then we have this thing. Yes, this is a controller. Yes, this did exist. No, I can't find anything more on it besides some crappy photos, so please enjoy. I feel like the guy who made this, Robert James Herbert's his name, like he just wanted this to disappear because I really can't find almost anything on this contraption. I found like 3 articles that reference it and have a couple photos. I found an old video from AP Archive called Dream Machine gets entire body into gaming, featuring a dude with AP getting into the controller.
Getting in it?
Yes, getting in it. Yes, getting in it. It basically like puts you in the game. So like the game he was playing was ATV Off-Road. It launched at like $1,800, so I can understand how this thing probably didn't actually launch or go anywhere. I just wish I knew more about this thing. Apparently Dream Machine is still like a brand of some capacity. You can find Dream Machine stuff like everywhere if you Google it, but like trying to find this particular controller from like E3 2005 or something is where that AP video was. Like it's been like wiped off the internet besides a very few handful of mentions. Like this is fascinating, man. This is like, anyway, fascinating. Moving on. 10. Death Crimson. I'll be honest, I really thought Dream Machine was going to be the final entry for the video. Like it's been like number 10 on the video for, you know, the past like month now. And then as I was finalizing like the list and the script and getting everything ready for the video, I find this. What is this? This is a kaiju. This is a legitimate kaiju. You can't convince me other. Obviously, it's meant to like I guess be a kaiju. I don't know, but no, this is a real kaiju. This is not a controller. This is a kaiju. This is not in a museum or something somewhere. This is in a prison in Japan or something. This is a living creature. I don't know what is this. There's only one of these in existence. I'm not sure who made it. I think I saw something where like an artist made it or something. I'm not sure. I don't know if like Sega like commissioned this guy to build it or if he just built it because he wanted to, or if like the game dev company of Death Crimson made it, you know, paid him. I don't know. There's only one. It's apparently in a museum. It's got a Sega Saturn built in to play the game Death Crimson, which is apparently a very bad game, but I have no idea. But this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my life. Like this looks like something that would just be in an arcade. Like when I first saw this, I was like, is this just an arcade game? No, this is a literal controller for a console game. This is not an arcade thing. Like that was like I want it. So what did you think about any of these? Are you as curious as I am about some of these? Did I miss something that should 100% be on the list? Definitely let me know down in the comments below. Other than that, do all the things that people say, the Patreon, the Discord, the checking out shows and subscribing and everything of the sorts. Do all of those things and we'd appreciate it. Okay, thanks, bye.